I'm fed up with changes. Come pick me up cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless.
Hey guys, welcome to Roots and Knuckles. I am Tiffany, and if you are new here, welcome. And if you have been here for a long time, thank you so much for your support. But you guys, before we get into what I'm going to talk about today, remember to subscribe to my channel, okay? So when you subscribe, it keeps me going and keeps me doing what I love, and I know that you guys are loving my videos, so this is super important. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that I'm super passionate about, and it's part of my history, it's part of my experience, and I would love to share that with you guys. So today we're going to talk about the 11 things that being Miss Hong Kong has taught me. Okay, let's get right into it. Number one, work ethics. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, you know, people work hard, but when I was in Hong Kong, like, people work around the clock. Let me just say that. People work super hard. They definitely don't have much of, I mean, for me, like, the work-life balance, because I think people work so hard there. Like, when I became Miss Hong Kong, and right after the day after, I had to do a lot of stuff. Like, I had to promote, like, do a lot of promotion, do a lot of sponsoring events. You know, there's like companies that hire you to do certain things, and I had to do shows. I had to do a lot of, like, I filmed a couple of soap operas. Like, don't look it up and don't laugh at me. But it was a learning experience. Okay, I acted and I had a good experience, but I think I really enjoyed it. I would just work around the clock. Like, I mean, there's breaks in between, but I was literally like going to work at like 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't get home till like 3 in the morning next day, and then I would go back to work at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. So definitely being Miss Hong Kong was, like, the amount of work and the work ethics that I've learned definitely benefited me now, like, you know, my life now. Everything I do, I work really hard at, and that's just like the kind of the mentality. So yes, number one is work ethics. You might see, like, oh, you know, Miss Hong Kong, you win, and then, you know, like, you're like just hanging out with people, like socializing. No, it's crazy. You work, like, sometimes we don't even eat. Because number two is the professionalism, working well with others and always being on time. So I was never like a very punctual person before, and I mean, I work well with others, but I think being in Hong Kong really have taught me about that team building and how everyone works together. And there is like the cameraman to the producer to the director to the PA and everything. Like, it's like working as a team, and there's a writer, there's such a big cast that comes behind this production that they do, that it's really important to work really well with other people. And also being on time. This has stuck with me forever. I remember always, like, my dad will always tell me, like, you gotta be on time, but, you know, it's just kind of like a thing that, you know, your parents tell you, like, okay, don't be late. I always have to be on time and be respectful for other people's time, and you don't want to waste other people's time, because it's not like your time is more precious than others. Everyone's time is very precious. So I have learned to always be on time. Number three is public speaking. You know, you might think it is really hard, you know, to be on stage or to talk to people or to just speak in front of a camera. I have learned a lot about being confident on stage. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was really scared in the beginning, because I'm like, Cantonese is my first language, but I spoke English for, you know, more than I spoke Cantonese. So in the beginning, it was hard. So what I did was I always practiced in front of a mirror, because I had to memorize a lot of lines. When I was the MC for a lot of big shows, I had to memorize in Chinese all these lines, what to say. And this was before Google Translate, like 20 years ago. I practiced a lot in front of a mirror. And no, I did not have a camera phone back then, so I couldn't practice in front of my camera, in front of my phone and watch it. So I didn't have that. Number four, I feel like this one is probably one of the most important thing for me as a woman, as a girl, is confidence. I've always been a very confident person, but throughout the pageant and throughout after winning and that kind of stuff, I would go through these stages of people saying little things or you being judged. I would go through that stage of like, you know, being insecure. People would say things to you or like whatever, it breaks you down a little bit, but I have learned to be very confident about myself. So that was very important. And I think especially being a girl and a woman, one of the biggest thing that we need to, biggest attribute I think that we need to have is confidence. So I've learned a lot being Miss Hong Kong, you know, to be very, very confident. Number 5 is being yourself. Why I say that is because anyone that knows me, any of my friends, my family, they're gonna tell you that I am not the pageant type. I am not the very like well-mannered, never swear, or like I'm very ladylike. I'm very no, I'm not like that. I am very much a kind of a very vulgar. I have no filter, and I like to have fun. I'm pretty much a potty mouth, and I burp. I mean, and the funny thing is that when I did Miss Hong Kong, like a lot of people that worked with me, like they know who I am. I was very honest with who I am as, you know, Tiffany. That's just who I am. I burp, I crack jokes, I have no filter, and they embrace, you know, me, and they love me for who I was. So I think that it's really important to be yourself and don't act like this person that you're not, because you can't act that long. Like your real self will come through. So I always say, you know, there's only so much you can act like to be like and just be this person, but you know, one day people will see right through you, and people are not dumb. So I think that I was very real with who I was as a person. Of course, in the beginning you hold back a little bit because you're kind of like this new environment, new people, but I was very much myself, and so I'm really glad that I won, you know, even though I get to be myself. And number 6 is developing relationship with and really investing in the people you meet, and really opening up who you are, and don't be so guarded. And I think that's how you develop relationships and friendships, which I'm still friends with a lot of the people I met in Hong Kong. I have made such good friends, and a lot of them are actually my bridesmaids. So I think number 7 is being independent. I know nowadays a lot of kids, like, they don't even know how to do laundry, or they don't know how to cook. They don't even know how to like make like ramen or anything. I think it's very important to be independent at a young age, because, and I think that's why I always tell my kids to do all these things and chores and have them help out, is because my parents did that to me. So when I was living in Hong Kong by myself, I did everything myself, even though it was a little foreign to me, because I didn't actually was not in Hong Kong for a long time. I left and immigrated to America when I was 8 years old. So going back and living there by myself, and I drove too, actually. Like, I was gifted a car, and I drove everywhere, and I learned how to drive. I didn't even take driving lessons. I just like took the car. I'm like, yo, let's go. so I drove. That's how dependent I was. So number 8, since I came here at such a young age, I was only 8 years old. I think learning where I came from, my roots, and the culture, I have really dive into the way people live in Hong Kong, how they live, how they work, what they eat, and what they celebrate was super, super valuable to me. So I have learned so much. And just embracing my culture and bringing it back here was something that I will never forget. Number 9 is empowering others, especially women empowerment. Why I say that is because when I was young, I was 20 years old, I was doing a pageant, and I think in that state of mind, when you're in a pageant, everyone is very competitive, and they're always comparing each other. And I think what I've learned is that never compare yourself to others, and embrace each other and empower each other. Why I say that is because I think when I was doing Miss Hong Kong, a lot of times, you know, people would compare, oh, you know, looks like she got a better dress, or she invited to this, or wow, you know, like, there's so much, like, you know, this helped her, this other girl to be the face of something. So that would only eat you up. Like, that is not gonna help you mentally. I feel like it's hard, you know, being a girl and you you're in a competitive like pageant. After that, I was having so much fun, and I think once you kind of have that, like, mentally, you break that down, and I didn't care if I was gonna win or not. I was just gonna have fun, and I think that's what kind of like I think that's a little bit reason why I won, is because I didn't have the pressure of like having to win Miss Hong Kong. I was just having fun. We were all the girls, I was helping girls, you know, like Victoria, one of like my dear friend, like she hated being on the stage. Like, she did not like doing the catwalk, she didn't like dancing, and like we really spent like a lot of time together. Like we would help each other, I would help her, you know, like how to dance and that kind of stuff, and to embrace each other and to empower each other. So number 10, I think this one is super important in life in general, and I think Miss Hong Kong has really taught me is developing a mindset to just go for it and don't be afraid of it. And a dream is just a dream if you just dream about it and don't take action. So Doug always has this thing, he's like, analysis paralysis. So it's so true. So if we're just gonna sit there and think about, oh, I wanna do this, then we'll never get it done if we don't actually put in action. So I'm very much a action person. So when I did Miss Hong Kong, I was really like, hey, I have nothing to lose. Well, if I don't get it, I don't get it. If I don't make it to the top 20, I don't get it, but at least I tried. So I think my dad has always instilled that in me, and he always says, you know, to go for it and don't be afraid of it. And I think I have developed that, and I have really, sometimes I can be a little crazy. I just, you know, every time, like, I think Doug has something like, oh, you know, maybe we should try doing this. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. So he kind of like pulled me back a little bit. So I think it's really important to have that mindset in life. Is you have something that you've always wanted to do and you guys have dreamt about doing, go for it. Do it. Don't think about anything else. Don't think about, oh, but that can happen, If I overthink it, back in the day, 20 years ago, I would have never thought. I would never have won Miss Hong Kong. So if that's something that you're super passionate about doing and you really want to do something, I mean, I'm not just talking about pageant, I'm talking about anything in life. Just do it and go for it. Don't be afraid of it. Take that risk, and just don't think about it. Just go for it and just see what happens. I mean, the most exciting thing is just, you know, you'll see the result and see what happens. You never know. No one knows the future. So number 11, you know, one of the traits that I have, I can say, is that I don't give a yes. I don't give a yes. I don't care. So that's one thing about me that I think really got me through this pageant, is that and even after winning, you know, I have to always have that mentality of like, you know, there's gonna be people that's gonna like you and there's people that's not gonna like you. They're gonna think that she's prettier, or someone's gonna think that you don't look like a Miss Hong Kong, or I'm not gonna make everyone happy, and I'm fine with that. You know, not everyone thinks that I'm, in their mind, I'm the Miss Hong Kong, but that's all I can say. I don't care. And just be yourself. And I think that mentality really got me really far. Especially, I think nowadays people have it even harder, not just, you know, in the pageant, in the Hollywood and entertainment in everything. I think in every industry is that people are always going to judge. And even as a girl, like, you're being judged all the time. And I think it's really important to have that confidence and have that you don't give a you know, because you don't want to conform to that mold. You don't want to be that. You want to be who you are and be strong. And, you know, if you look a certain way, embrace it. Just had that mentality of like, well, I'm just going to do my best and I'm just going to give it my all. And whatever the result is, it's really out of my control and I can't control that, you know, what the judges think of me. And the judges really get to know who I am because we sat in a couple interviews and they sat me down and they actually get to know who you really are as a person. They asked you a lot of questions, they sat you down. And so I think they really, in that whatever minutes, that an hour that they sat me down and got to know me as who I am. And yeah, so I think you not caring what other people think, and I think that this applies through life. And just be yourself is super important, and not let little things get to you. So thank you so much for, you know, this was a long video, I feel like, because I think I've learned so much with doing Miss Hong Kong, and that Miss Hong Kong has taught me so much that this became a longer video than I wanted to. But I really hope you guys enjoyed my video, and there's something so liberating about just sharing your experiences and just be yourself, and just like, you guys accept me for who I am. And yeah, so thank you so much. I can't wait to share more videos with you. Remember to subscribe because I told you that there's something super exciting to share with you guys. And no, I am not pregnant. And no, we're done having kids, okay? Don't scare Doug. Doug's gonna like run away. No, this is something really, it's kind of like that number 10 that I was telling you about, that analysis paralysis, and kind of like go for it, and don't think about it. If you have something that you dreamt of doing, go for it. So this is kind of like very similar to that. So make sure you subscribe so that you guys can see the video soon, very soon. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you guys next video, and take care, guys, and stay safe out there. Bye.